twisting and gyrating, each series of loops on a zigzag course to forever. Journey to authenticity on a spiral path as the view gets wider and timeless. Radial ropes of energy moving in cycles, circles, waves, and rhythms return to silence in the middle of the spiral, centering into the self, knowing in direct experience, awakening soul, beauty, and joy in dynamic intensity, enabling change as power. Yoganali, hello friends. So happy to see all of you today. Thank you for being here as we celebrate our journey into the solitude of the solstice time coming up. I will call to my ancestors, my river basin, and the sacred mountain that I'm on. Gligia Koeskwe, dancing heron, dances with death, call me Gail. In Wayumi Ganaita Taki River Basin in Asheville, North Carolina, so called, on our sacred mountain Arigu, which means helping many people. We are the people who resisted both removal on the Trail of Tears and the resisted by hiding in these mountains. And these mountains still encourage appropriate resistance. So as we gather tonight, today in the moonlight, with all of you, we're going to celebrate the journey into the solitude of the dark nights and bring the balance to Patricia in Brazil as she goes into summer, and we celebrate the other side of the earth where things are different. And when we come together in these opposites, we create balance, just as the Woodlands people came here to balance the first coming of the Plains people, who brought the ways of the sun, and we brought the ways of the moon. So I invite all of you to share your experiences of the solstice turning. We will actually celebrate the solstice turning on Saturday, the 21st, with many more of our EarthStock community members. And this is our celebration of the preparation for that event, for that earth energy, that sun energy, that nature, indigenous people. And I say indigenous people as, you know, we who walk with the land, we who stay close to our ancestral land or connect closely to our land that we are on in whatever way we do that. And that's what I'm inviting you to share today, our walk in the moonlight. We say walk because we want to talk about what we actually do, not what we think or, you know, abstract opinions or anything, but what are we actually doing at this time to prepare for our dark nights that are coming, for the other side of the earth in the summer time that's coming? How do we prepare for this solstice turning? as elders, what are we doing? What can we share with the world to help everyone celebrate and prepare for this turning of the sun? And the moon actually stood still. This is one of those times, the full moon, the cold moon was early yesterday morning, and it actually stayed in the same place from the day before. So it stood still. We hold that stillness in the times of solitude, as we prepare for the solitude that we're entering into with these long dark nights. We hold the stillness dear in our heart. And I want to give Patricia a chance to represent what she's doing on the other side of the earth to prepare for the longer days, I guess. Tell us your walk, if you will, please, Patricia.
I didn't. Thank you. I'm putting my hand up because I don't know how long I'll be here. I didn't know it was going to be at this time. So I'm here in Sao Paulo, which is a new thing for me after a while to be with my grandchildren, family, etc. But I wanted to share the following. Here is, we're going into summer, and today especially is whoever studies the Mayan calendar is the first day of the 13 days of, and it's healing. It has to do with healing and with letting go behind. And personally, what I want to share is that I took a decision after my experience of almost death about 10 days or 2 weeks ago. Gail knows about it. That I was taken in an ambulance into a, well, anyways, it's a long story, but here I am, healthy again. But it was an experience of letting go. And when I came here to Sao Paulo, I am doing everything this last week and now and today, especially, to let go of all the things that I carry to this day. I'm 73, and everything that I went to my old house and I gave away everything. I, been a time, and it is a time today of turning over and being empty, going into this solitude, to this place of silence, to a new, I don't know. I don't know. I don't have any answers, but to continue being able to contribute to my NGO in Bahia, where you all know I have a place, to genuinely give all my presence there. But I had to open up and let go of all my luggage and everything I have here in this big city. And now I'm, with the grandchildren and children, but basically it's a moment of letting go, of turning the page, but not letting go and erasing it. No, it's not. To the contrary, acknowledging everything that I've done, that is there, that is present, but not holding on to anything, and starting a totally new path, which I will need the help of every single one of you because it's not been easy. I've been having, a very, challenging time of letting go of the identification with all the things I had, just giving it all away, and the death experience, which was, we have death at our left side as our, guidance. So from another perspective, what is death, right? It can be at any moment, and it's right here, right? So what is it, this very moment, here and now, that I'm doing? I'm here with you all. I told my son and granddaughter, I said, wait a minute, I'm here with my other family that I want to spend some time with. I don't know tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. And this is the experience I'm having right now, really sharing my best of the here and now. And on Saturday, I'm going to do my best to bring in a group of people that are doing a ceremony also here in Brazil to connect with you guys doing it there. So you have a connection with the Southern Hemisphere as well. So that's what I wanted to share at this moment, this new phase, which I don't know, but I like this. I don't know. I'm just here and now with all of you. Thank you, SD, Lenny, Pamela, and Gail.
Mm. Yeah, thank you, Patricia. That was the question that the hurricane brought to me. I don't know. What is this? What am I seeing? Just being grateful to be present and share with everything around me. The trees that are standing, yeah, everything. Just being present. That's what we come to so often in the solitude. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Patricia. Beautiful. Sharing your walk with us in the moonlight. SD, would you like to sing us in and share a song and tell us what you're doing in preparation for the solitude that's coming and the ceremony on Saturday? Let's unmute. Can you unmute SD? We can't hear you yet.
There
That's
we go.
great. Thank you. Yeah.
What's the only got it? So my greetings to everyone at this time. It's always throughout history been acknowledged by indigenous cultures as a special time. And I know some cultures would have ceremonies on the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. And because they felt it important to be there for this turning. It's a turning in time. And we will go through the longest night of the year and start to go back toward the light, where the days will be getting longer. So it's often in the past, I was thinking I'm very alone at this time. Often at this time, I would be participating in some kind of ceremony and acknowledgement. So I think I'm just, we'll have our meeting and I'll do a little ceremony of my own for winter solstice and offering of prayers. And that's about all I can say at this time. I'm looking forward to our participating together in that acknowledgement in just a few days' time. which time I think I look forward to doing some storytelling about that. I think that's an important way to acknowledge this time, because traditionally it is the time for that. That's all.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you, Steve. Some wonderful stories about the choices that humans make and how it affects those times. I love the story that you're going to share with us, and I'm going to share the dance that you saw a little sneak preview of at the beginning when we opened here. We showed you a few of the movements in the music that I created for the solstice turning a few years ago, and the guidance that brings us into ritual and how we come together in these ways. And when we honor these ways and come together in these ways, then we are bigger than we are standing alone. You know, this is how we become more than just an individual. When we come together, we become the the higher power that is created in community and in gathering and in being together in the ways of our ancestors, you know, reaching all the way back to this wave of humans where we all share ancestors. We come together at these times in ritual because ritual is a basic human need. We feel a need to come together and do the same thing in a simple, simple way. And our ancestors in the beginning of this wave of humans took care of food and shelter, and then they came together around the fire in the evening and they shared music, dance, stories. After language, we actually sang before we even spoke as humans. The studies tell us, you know, that, and if we watch the children, the babies sing before they speak, you know, and they dance before they walk. And so this is our journey to come back together in these simple, beautiful ways that we came in with as infants and came in with as this wave of humans. And we're all still here, obviously, in this wave of humans. So today I've invited Lenny to come and share with us an experience that he had shared with me that I thought was really fascinating, of a jump dance that I hadn't heard of, that I just really loved hearing about. And I'll invite him at this time to share whatever he would like to with us in his preparations for the solstice and gatherings and celebrations of the dark night. Yeah, Lenny, yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah.
I'm just getting used to Zoom a little bit. Been a while since I've been on it. So welcome. Thank you for inviting me here. Before I talk about the dance, maybe I'll share a little bit about what the solstice is to us. I mean, Gail and I talked recently about balance, bringing balance to things. And it's, you know, here in McMurray Land in Canada on the East Coast, we call this moon the Great Chief Moon. And that's because we believe that the reflection in the heavens or the sky or the celestial plane reflects what happens on Earth. And here the sun gets lower and lower on the horizon, but then the moon gets higher and higher in brightness. So that creates the balance that we see in nature and reflects that. So now we call this the Great Chief Moon because it's the strongest, brightest, longest moon. And at this time is a time when the people go moose hunting. So the moon provides the light for them to be able to see in the snow and to bring that winter harvest. So it's a very important time and brings that balance. And, you know, as Steve was saying, it's a time of storytelling as well too. That's a strong time because of the solstice. You have that change of actually that's when they come into balance, the longest, the brightest moon, and the sun the lowest in the
Thank you, Lenny. I'm glad I didn't know there was moose in Nova Scotia when I was riding my bicycle across the peninsula from Yarmouth to the Mine of Space. And I think I would have been intimidated if I had known there was a moose out there somewhere. They're beautiful animals, but they're so huge. And I, of course, know nothing about the moose, but that is a very significant thing, I'm sure. Yeah. Share anything you'd like to about that celebration, that process, or anything about your walk right now in the moonlight, Lenny, that you'd like to share.
I was fortunate to work in the west, which of the mountains here in the Rocky Mountains, with Senextrad. Helped them build a traditional underground lodge house. And at the end, there was a ceremonial house. And in the winter at solstice, all the tribes would come together and they each bring their ancestral songs that have been passed down to them. So we did different songs. We do a lodge before and then jump into the mountain river, and then we'd go in at night and we'd spend all night there honoring the longest night. And then it was like an earthen floor. So if you think of, we had this dance where you kind of just, so if you think this earthen floor as you're dancing, you go, so it's like a drum. So you had the drum, but you were creating the drum as part of your dance. And the different songs that the peoples brought from the different tribal areas was, there'd be one song to happiness, or the song would make you want to just jump with joy. And other ones, you just immediately, tears would come to your eyes. The song was so sad, just pull out those emotions. And the purpose of the dance was to release. So we were releasing all the emotions and all the things we've gathered all year during the time of the darkness before the light comes in. And then at the end, in the morning, which would be the end of the day, we did it for 4 days. The elder that was leading the dance would come and sweep the floor, and he was sweeping up all the things that we released and put into the dirt, and then he would take that out of the space and cleanse the space again, getting ready for the next night's dance. It was one of the most powerful solstice ceremonies that I had the honor to be able to be part of.
Oh, that is beautiful. Yeah, that does sound like a very honoring environment to come together. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lenny. That does sound like an amazing experience. Wow, is there anything else that anyone would like to share at this time of their experiences and their walk in the moonlight? Okay, if not, I'm going to take you on a little journey, a little visual journey of the four worlds that Chief Phil Lane talks about. Since we're at times of turning, I've asked Pamela to share some photos that I've taken over time here on the sacred mountain before the hurricane hit. So you can walk with me on this mountain as it was. And if you'll share those at this time, Pamela, we'll start with the first world. The first world was the stone people. They were here first, and some people say that was the Big Bang. I don't know. But here's a stone that I love high up on this mountain. It's a mountain river, and you see it in the background, the water cascades over this stone and runs into this beautiful pool where I do our going to water ceremony when I can get there, and it may be a while before I can get there again. But this is one of my favorite images of first the stone, and then the water came to earth in the second world. And together they created the plants. And the next image will show you the plants that came together with the water and the stones and created the animals. And that's my little animal right there. And that's a, s- a scene from a hike that we took up on one of the highest peaks. Our stories say we came from the stars. We came down from the Seven Sisters and landed on the seven highest peaks here on the oldest mountain on Turtle Island. So there's my little dog sitting on the second highest peak up there on Pinnacle with the plant medicine all around him. And the animals are teaching us now in this fourth world to be the best humans that we can be. And I just want to remind everyone at this time of the turning that there is so much that we can learn from the plants and the animals at this time. And if we don't learn these ways and become the best humans that we are capable of becoming at this time of turning towards the fifth world, then we will go by the wayside like so many waves of humans before us and start over once again. So I just want to take these images and encourage you all to really think about this time of going into the darkness, going into the caves. And this is one of my favorite caves on the mountain that's in the next photograph that I want to share with all of you now. It looks like a bear, but it's the mouth of a cave. And I didn't even know it until I took this photograph. I was in the cave, very intimidated by being in the cave because that's not something I have the courage to do often. But it's a wonderful cave, about 20 minutes from here up the mountain. Normally, I don't know when I'll be able to go back to my favorite places because of the damage from the hurricane. But when I took this picture and I looked at it on my camera, I was like, oh, that looks like the bear. And it is, and it's a very 3D photograph. I don't know if you can tell it here, but it is very multi-dimensional. And the dream that came to me to prepare me for the hurricane was also very multi-dimensional, like this image. And the dreams that have been coming since the hurricane also show me this immediacy of the stones in front of me here in the opening, and then the trees in the distance, and the image of the bear, the white bear in the opening that had come to me in a dream before. So very multi-dimensional guidance from my soul in the dream world at this time, as we are on the verge of entering that fifth world, where we are responsible for becoming our most human. And then to confirm all of this on the mountain just before the hurricane, one of the Park Service cameras caught this next image of a white panther or cougar or mountain lioness, I call them, that is here on the mountain with us, and obviously going where she chooses in a very cat-like way. But she has given us several images, and I don't know of any other time. We have the black panthers here normally, but this white panther is the first that I've seen. And I don't know if that's because we have, we have trail cam footage now, or just because this cat is bringing us something that we need at this time, or maybe both. I'm not sure. It's possibly both. Most likely it's both, and encouraging us to learn from the animals, connect with the spirit of the plants, and ask for their help in learning what we need to as humans at this time to be the most human that we can be, and come together on the solstice in ritual and in celebration of being our most human and entering this fifth world according to this prophecy, and always being at our highest and best and coming together in these ways. And thank you, Pamela, for this slideshow that you shared with us, and for all the help that you do, for so much that you do to help us gather in this way. And of course, you're welcome to share in any way that you'd like to. And I know you'll be with us again on the solstice, helping out. And if anyone has any comments or any more sharing, we've got about 20 more minutes in our hour that we're recording. So you're all welcome to share any experiences or anything that's coming to you that you'd like to share in preparation for the solstice coming up soon. Steve, do you have another song if no one has anything they want to share at this time?
Okay. That's a Trail of Tears song, and praying for help and guidance to Creator.
Thank you, SJ. That's a beautiful song, and you remind me to look to our soul in the dream world for guidance at this time as well. In the olden
Yes,
time.
it's a time to honor our bare nature.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you
bear.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
The
need
bears are going
this
to be
very
saying goodnight.
I need this very deeply at this moment of my life, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah, the bears help us in so many ways. They are one of the animals that are truly teachers, and they lend us their strength and their wisdom, and they always come by and say goodnight on their way up the mountain. And just about a week or a little more ago, I hadn't seen them since the hurricane, and finally the mama bear that I shared with her first journey through the trees outside the house that I took the video through the window with me inside and her outside. And the cubs were little tiny things then, and she showed up. She was the first family that came back after the hurricane, and I just saw her with those 3 little cubs, and now they're all fat and fuzzy and furry and ready for their sleep. And they're birthing in January and February, so she may add to that family this year. But they always stop by and say goodnight on their way up the mountain. One time a little cub came right up to the door and said goodnight. I think he said goodnight. Either that or he said, "Let me in there where it's warm." But we weren't gonna do that. So they're really sweet when they're on their way up to sleep.
Okay, I have to go now. Thank you so much, all of you, for this presence, and love you all. See you on when do I see you next? Because I never know the times of the meetings, but I suppose will be next Saturday, right?
Saturday at the same time as today. Yeah, thank you,
Okay,
Patricia,
and the
so
wisdom
much.
and the wisdom circle is when? When is the wisdom circle? Wednesday, right?
Yep, Wednesday. Yep. We'll see you Wednesday.
Just let me know, because you're the one that pokes me. You're the one that
Okay.
pokes me.
I'm happy to
My
do that, Patricia. Yeah, much love and gratitude to you.
Much love. Thank you.
Till again. Yeah, we don't say goodbye. We say until again, because we know we will see each other, whether we see each other this life or the next life, this plane or the next plane, whatever dimension we happen to be in, we know we will see each other again. And I'm always happy to see all of you in this way and in every way that we can see each other and come together. Normally, Michael would join us at this time, Michael DiMartino, our EarthStock founder, the one that brings us all together and calls us to council and appreciates whatever we share with him and the choices that are made to share the resources of EarthStock and contribute what we can to the good of the world. But I know he's traveling in preparation for the solstice. He's traveling to near Sacramento. Don't know what kind of weather he's running into, or I guess he won't be joining us today. But we do have a little more time. If either of you have anything else that you'd like to share, SD or Lenny or Pamela, we got a few more minutes, or we can close out with the gratitude song, whatever feels good to you guys.
I could tell a little story.
Oh, we love stories, SD, please.
Well, this is a true story. It comes from the Cheyenne people, from the Sand Creek Massacre, when a peaceful encampment of Cheyenne and Arapaho people in Colorado were attacked and surprised at dawn by cavalry troops, and many of them were wiped out. Children, babies, and all. There were some people who escaped. And this is a story that comes from that. I think it's appropriate because it's another of those stories where people receive help from nature, the natural world. And I know some of these people that are descendants of the survivors of the Sand Creek Massacre, which was in 1862. And there was two women and a few children who escaped. It was a time of winter, cold, cold. And they didn't know where they were going. They were just going away from the soldiers to seek refuge. And they traveled a couple of days in that snow, cold, and took shelter to sleep wherever they could find it. Little caves or rock overhangs. And about the third day, and they had found a little cave. They woke up in the morning. There was a wolf, and at first they were afraid, but the wolf was friendly to them. It accompanied them again when they took off walking. The second night, it stayed with them. And one of the women said, "Wolf, you are our friend. Please help us. We are hungry." And the wolf listened. And later that day, he came back with a part of looked like a part of a deer with meat, and they were able to eat from that and get strength. And that wolf started, it head out in front of them. It was leading them. Every day, it would disappear for a time and it would come back with food for them. Whatever, however, or wherever that wolf was able to find that, he did it, and he stayed with them for days. And then they saw in the distance an encampment of their people. So that wolf guided them home, took care of them. And after saw that they were safe, he disappeared, and they didn't see him again. But that story's been passed down to the descendants of those. And for this and many other reasons, the wolf is very much honored, very much respected by the Cheyenne people. That's all.
That's beautiful. Yeah, thank you, SD. That's a very sweet story. Okay, well, we'll close at this time with that beautiful story of guidance and help. Just what we need, just when we need it. Knowing that we will have that through the darkest nights, through the winter. We've done our preparations and we continue to do our preparations, and we know that what is coming will be just what we need. So join me in this song of gratitude that was from the spring here on the sacred mountain in the Lakota language, because we've held the Nipi traditional ceremony sweat lodges here for over 13 years, and spring has been a part of that ceremony and brought me this song through the dream time in the Lakota language. And I also do translation in English so that we can all share the understanding of our gratitude. So please join me whatever way you can. Rattle, drum, sing, create frequency and vibration however you want to. Dunka shalai, unchimalai, mitak yeo, unchimaka, many Johnny, Pilamaya, ancestors, grandmother, please share compassion on my relations, grandmother. Water is life. We are grateful. Tunka shalai, unchimalai, mitak yeo, unchimaka, many choni, pilamaya ye. Oh, thank you all so much. Until again, much love and gratitude.